How do you think you're going to come in? Do you think it's going to be exactly sort of on track? Is everything moving in the right direction? Yep. You are aware that how much you need to lock in, though.
Well, I'm locked in right now, though.
I'm in Florida. I recorded with C-Bum yesterday for a couple of hours on the podcast, and for some reason today, I'm doing a training session with him. Frankly, I'm just a bit nervous. Like, he is way more robust than one session with me could ruin condition he's been working toward for a decade. But there is a bit of me that kind of doesn't want to mess up. I'm an emotional support animal today.
How's it going? Hello, sir. How are you?
What's going on? Bro, we've already got an option for the thumbnail for tomorrow, which is just lock in. Giving birth, just lock in.
Just lock in.
Crying about how painful the child coming out of you is,
Just lock it in.
gotta lock in, bro.
It works.
I mean, she did lock in,
She
and you
did.
now do have a child.
Courtney, she posted a bunch of like birth videos too. Just chop those up and make like motivational edits of locking in of her like on the
Slow-mo,
table.
with like a sepia tone over the top
Yeah.
of them. Fucking sweet. Let's get in there. We'll get in there and I'll tell you what I think. You get in there.
Me?
I mean, of the two of us, which is the fucking world champion athlete 3 weeks out from doing the thing?
That's why I need to follow, because I have no brain power to do anything else.
All right, okay, you're allowed to do this once now. Okay?
Do what once?
Because the next time that we see each other in 6 months' time and you go, I'm too tired to walk through the doorway without someone moving the air out of the way first.
I need to draft behind you.
So,
Yeah.
there is a big bit of me that's terrified of getting in the way. So I'm just
I'm moving pretty slow right now, so you're good.
Okay,
You'll probably recover quicker than I can. So
brilliant.
in the time that I need to recover between sets, will just be your set. We'll be good.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry about it.
Chest.
Chest and a little shoulders. There's you some basic. They're called shoulder cars. You heard of that? Shoulder cars or hip cars. It's very like simple. Stand one arm, and like you wanna. I'm so brain dead right now. The goal is just to reach like as far as you can, spin, and then you come across your body and you stretch as far as you can this way. Overhead, like you're supposed to really over exaggerate everything, and then up, then spin, and then back as far as you can.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's...
Like my shoulders crack and shit when I do that. You just do that like each arms.
Okay.
A couple of times.
Okay.
I'll be sweating by the end of that.
Okay.
You can do it with me or?
All right. Yeah, I'm following you. This is cool. This is like yoga with Chris.
Gotta get that mobility, you know?
You know when you're hitting 30, because you start to have not just a grunt, but an entire repertoire of different grunts, dependent on what you're doing. So there's one for getting into and out of the car. There's one for sitting down after a long day. There's one for the first working set when you unrack a barbell.
Oh, that's rough. What's your most dramatic grunt?
Getting out of a car. I've just got one that's like really sort of...
A low one?
It's like it's a two-parter.
Do you have a non-American car now?
It's a two-parter. Yeah, I do.
What is it?
Camaro.
Oh, it's the American one.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't
I
have a
said you have a
non-American.
non-American one. Oh.
I can't. Yep. Who'd you learn this off?
Hey?
Who'd you learn this off?
This guy's been helping with my training, Justin King. You know Charles Poliquin? You heard of Charles Poliquin?
Yes.
One of like the greatest strength coaches of all
He
time.
passed away not too long ago, right? Yeah.
This guy shadowed under him, mentored under him when he was like 18.
So he's like a legend.
And he's just like a genius. And he just made some he knows how lazy I am and how efficient I want to be. So he just made some like super simple like warm-up things for me to do that I'm actually going to do. Instead of like, here's a 40-minute warm-up you're never gonna do.
Gonna fucking listen to.
You gotta turn off the music. Killing me.
So you're not tracking anything other than just in your mind? It's not like you're logging stuff in and out.
Right now, yeah. I was supposed to do more, but just didn't like having my phone at every set writing something down, you know? Or even
It feels a
notebook.
lot like it turns something that you're supposed to do as an escape into something that feels like more admin,
Like,
which is precisely what you just left in the car.
literally, yeah.
I've always struggled with some of that stuff. I'd actually much rather get off and dump my entire set of just go back in my memory and be 90% as right,
Close enough.
and just write everything into the RP app or
For
whatever,
sure, yeah.
all the way down.
When I'm doing like, when I was in some very specific parts of my programming, when I was like, had enough calories so that my strength was building, I was doing it with specific lifts. Because every week Justin was having me put like an extra 5 pounds on.
So you better know
It's like a
what you
machine.
did last
So
week.
you have to know
If you just
exactly
get it
what.
slightly wrong.
It mattered, you know?
Yeah. You're very conscious of little things. I noticed when you were picking those dumbbells up that you really sort of like set the back safely.
Yeah.
So the
Especially right now.
Yep.
Because like when I start to get like lean, you feel like a muscle that's tight will like pop and like crack and like shift, and nothing feels like fluid.
Stable.
Like all the fluid you have in your joints just like pretty much drain that when you get really lean.
Wow.
And then your tendons and muscles are just like
crispy.
Crispy.
Well done, bacon.
Very crispy.
Do you want a hand here toward the end, or are you just going to go through yourself?
If I get halfway up, then try, but I'm not too worried about it.
All right.
Not trying to do any force reps.
Big chest. Come on. Come in. Here we go. Fight. Good man. Good work. Fuck yeah. Dude, that control at 140 is disgusting.
That's the difference of when it was just like kind of like janky ones when I was young. Now those are just locked in.
Absolutely locked in.
Locked
Just lock
in.
in, bro. Courtney, lock in, all right? Breastfeeding, just lock in. Giving birth to kids, just lock in.
As she's pushing the baby out 9 centimeters dilated, I'm like, remember how I hold those 140 dumbbells? Lock it in. Just like that. Do a flat press on the machines over there.
Stop asking me. You're making me, every time you ask me something, you make me nervous. Who designed this gym?
Pure Muscle and Fitness. Dorian Hamilton. I don't
Did
know
you
if
have
knows it.
anything to do with the,
The equipment?
yeah.
There were select pieces that I said I wanted, but our one partner, Matt Jansen, and Dorian, the owner of Pure, they did most of it.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. I was more focused on mine. Because a lot of pieces I like are very specific to just me, not what a typical gym would like.
What
And
are
some of them are old.
What are some of the weirdest machines that you have fallen in love with?
Weird machines?
Well, you said that you've got unique pieces that presumably are at your home gym. What are
Just-
some of
they're
those that
just
you went out
little.
of your way to find?
Just like older ones they don't make anymore, like the chain-driven Nautilus pullover that like Dorian Yates had.
That's the red thing that's in your gym. Yeah, I've seen
With like
you
the
use
bicycle chain.
that. Yeah.
Some of my old blue Star Trek ones. They had like a converging press, like stuff they made in the 90s and stuff. that
There's
just
some
feel good.
Cybex shit that's been discontinued too. I think that's like a collector's item or whatever now.
There's a few, yeah.
No.
Did you ever see that we trended on a Mum's Advice channel community?
Yeah. They're talking about the cry it out thing or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because people misunderstood what we were saying too. So there was like a battle of it within it, being like, they were saying this. No, they were saying this.
Yeah. Purposefully uncommittal in the way that you raised your as yet unborn child.
Yeah.
Cause people to get angry or agree.
Come together and push people apart.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I think it's
Courtney had some of her friends like send it to her and be like, the fuck?
some chick came up to me in the gym and said, my sister has just had a kid with her brand new husband and sent me a video of you and this other guy in the gym talking about cry it out versus attachment style child rearing. Was that actually you? That doesn't seem like you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what we go viral for.
Correct. It's not the lifting. This fucking stupid physique. Tell me about whether or not children should cry it out when they're in their car.
What do you believe? How would you raise your unborn child?
So what's changed? Before then, people can go back and watch 6 months ago. There's this perfectly designed plan of the way that we're going to like mind meld the child so that it's, the perfect.
I mean, she's only 4 months, but that's still what we do.
Sleep training's worked?
Well, we don't really sleep train.
Okay, I don't know what sleep training is. I just want it to sound smart.
I don't think there's a true definition. I think depending who you ask, everyone has a different definition.
Fantastic.
But when she's crying, we go get her. We don't let her. We don't cry it out. How about that? We don't do that.
Okay. It was so great when we were using different weights, but now we're on the same machine with a visual representation, not even a stack that I can subtly move up. This is the same problem every guy has when they have to train with a friend who's infinitely stronger than them.
Yeah, that was me my whole life.
Visual representation of how much more of a bitch I am than you.
Just a way to assert my dominance.
Yeah, that's true.
You use your intelligence during a podcast. I use plates in the gym.
That's true. But you can also use your hairline now. Your brand new
This is true.
hairline.
I don't know if I actually went to the point of diminishing returns though.
What the fuck?
I know, right?
That might be, I think, the biggest dude I've seen. I'm guessing he's competing next weekend. Well, whenever in a few weeks.
Yeah.
What class? What category?
Open.
What?
Yeah.
Cyborgs in the gym. Right. Yeah. It's a big sandwich.
Double cookie, single stuff.
Yeah, it is a bitch sandwich, except I'm the bitch in the middle.
I don't even know if I can pick this up, but we can delete the footage if
What you want?
What?
Pick what up? This?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you pick my keys up for me? I'm tired.
I'm here to serve, all right? You came and spoke for 2 hours yesterday with prep brain.
I was saying afterwards to Courtney, I was like, there's a few moments where we were talking and you were saying something and then you were talking and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot what he was saying. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm thinking rather than listening. Fuck, listen to him. And I'm like thinking that I'm listening. I'm like, what are they gonna say? And I'm like trying to snap myself back in, just staring at you.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck.
Yep.
My brain was just like,
That's
not
fine.
even thinking of other things, just like off to nothing.
Yep. Yeah, that's what my mold brain's like at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had that too last year. Oh.
Come on then. Yep. Shit. Okay, let's take around about 50% of the weight off.
Have you been doing like a sauna detox protocol and all this shit?
Not a full detox protocol, but trying to get sauna in regularly.
Do you take binders and shit or anything with it? Or
Polystyrene.
did you Charcoal and everything too?
And polystyrene would be an alternative to charcoal, but I could
Okay.
take charcoal too. Polystyrene's just like farmer grade.
The stronger version?
Yeah.
Is the powder?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Come on, keep it moving. There you go, finish it.
There's probably a lot of people that ask the question of like, why the fuck is that guy who has no expertise in strength or fitness and isn't strong or fit training with Chris and Mike Israetel? I'm sure that why is he talking so much? Like, I don't know either, bro.
Probably.
Yeah.
People do get whenever I train with very specific people who are like think they're the hardcore bodybuilding fans will get like triggered by it. Like even when I train like David Lade or like someone, why the fuck are you training with someone like that?
I think I'm in the sweet spot. David Lade's in a bad spot because he's legitimate enough to be an actual fitness person, but doesn't have a pro card or whatever. I don't know what credibility people want him to have. Whereas anybody that tuned in expecting me to be
Yeah, true.
even remotely useful, I
They're
mean,
like,
that's,
oh wow,
that's a you problem.
He's also smart and strong.
yeah.
So he's also
Oh,
strong.
look at that. Yeah.
It's like under promise, over deliver.
He knows what an incline chest press is.
good for
Congratulations to him.
He's not a complete idiot.
Low expectations, people.
the
Low
secret.
expectations is the key. One of the other things, training vlogs is nothing I've ever done, but one of the other things we've got stick for is how much I spend time talking. I'm like, hey, I'm literally here for the hang. I'm not here for the training. So consider this a podcast with intermissions to lift something a little bit, as opposed to a training session. But today, this is a training session.
Today's a training
Christopher.
session. We're locked in.
I mean, speak for yourself. I am locked in. I had a quick call with Courtney earlier on, and I got a few tips
On how to lock in.
for locking in.
One breath at a time.
Correct.
One contraction at a time.
Come on then. It was interesting what we were talking about yesterday. That fear of losing the thing that the world loves you for. That,
Like your intelligence.
for me,
Yeah.
or your championship for you.
Yeah.
You're
My
going,
body.
Yep. Oh my God, I'm injured. This is the only thing that the world's ever validated me for having.
Literally.
Like, oh my God, I've got autoimmune or a stomach bug or a torn lat or a bad night's sleep or.
What now?
Yep.
That was really cool when I've like expressed that. At times, or working through it. I can't remember a year or two ago. I think I talked about it in a video. And some like 16-year-old boy wrote me a letter, and I was talking about the difference of like the character of C-Bum versus like Christopher, like who I really am. Thinking the world loves C-Bum, which is like Mr. Olympia, the guy, you know, and then Christopher is just like who I am to my core. Some 16-year-old kid wrote me a letter. He's like, to Christopher, not C-Bum. Talking about how if I competed or didn't, he would still look up to me and he respects who I am and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Like, that's an impressive young kid. Do you have a genuine fear that your brain power is not going to come back?
Kind of. It's irrational, I know, but
But it's understandable.
it's just so, it's such a central part of my daily experience. You know, like my access to my own thoughts,
Yeah.
my ability to use words, and how agile I feel when I'm moving through them. And it gives me a pride, it gives me a sense of accomplishment. You know, it's something that I love about myself. I love the texture of my own mind. I love what I built. I imagine when you look in the mirror, when you're ready to step on stage at the Olympia, it's something that gives you pride.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent, whatever
The feel inside your mind.
architecture that I have, and the
Yeah.
texture of my mind, and to have that taken away is scary.
For sure.
And then
Understandable.
it's even more scary because you feel like, or I feel like I've set an expectation now in the same way as if you've never won the Olympia, not winning an Olympia doesn't really matter. But if you're the 5-time champion going for 6,
And you lose.
losing is, yeah.
Yeah. Once you've established the standard, nothing less is expected. Does anyone ever even like, have you noticed anyone notice that you
I
have,
can play it off. I can dial it off, and
like, have, like, any of your podcasts, anyone been like, he's not as sharp as he used to be, or is it just in your mind, you just feel it?
it's definitely there. But, okay, so it would be like somebody looking at you. Let's say that you won the Olympia, but you knew you weren't in your best condition, and you knew that there was a good amount more that you could have done.
Yeah.
Everybody else would say, well, dude, you're still the best in the world. How can you not be appreciative of just how good you are? Look at all of the accomplishments. Look at how well this thing's going. The grand physique that you've built. And you know, yeah, but I'm here and I can be here, and I have been here previously. It's one of the problems of being particularly good at anything. If you're better than most people at the thing, nobody gives you sympathy for dialing back just a little bit in terms of your performance.
Yeah.
And nobody knows because you're still so much further ahead than you need to be. But it's not some arbitrary line of where do I need to be, it's where can I be, right? It's how good can I be at this thing? And I just know, the quality of my thoughts from this mold, autoimmune stuff is like really, really, it
Diminished.
hurts. It hurts. It's not good.
Yeah. It's
not
funny
good.
when you're talking about the small but like the personal victories that no one else cares about. Like in 2018, the year I lost, and I looked worse than the year before. I looked incredible early on in the year and looked like shit on stage. I found so much pride in myself and just knowing what I had gone through. And even last year, it wasn't my best physique, but I tore my lattice like 8 weeks out, whatever the fuck it was, the Olympia, and I thought I was gonna drop out. So me getting there before I got there, that like victory of just knowing I wasn't at my best, but I still overcame this obstacle that no one even knew about.
Yeah.
Like you might not be your sharpest, but the fact you're being sharp with a setback is like the
Private
personal
victories.
private victory, you know?
Boring successes and
Boring
private
success,
victories.
yeah.
That was one of my favorite lessons that we came up with yesterday. It's
That's
really,
cool,
really
yeah.
cool. How heavy is this? Is this like really fucking heavy?
Try it once, and if it's heavy, we'll take some off.
All right. You mentioned yesterday that there'd been a few setbacks earlier in this prep. Was that anything other than baby stuff, or is that?
Kind of personal stuff.
Uh-huh.
Stuff that just took me out of having the proper off season. I think every year getting wrapped up in more and more stuff outside of bodybuilding. Like I had this weird realization the other day. I trained with those cyborgs, Brett and Martin.
Glad that the name's stuck.
They're super nice dudes. Came and I trained with them, and they're just bodybuilders. You know, and I used to just be a bodybuilder. And they were talking about like just bodybuilding, and that's their life right now. It's getting ready for the Olympia. It's sleeping. It's massage, recovery, cardio. They go to the gym to pose, all these things. And I was traveling every single weekend, coming in the office here, just going to film stuff, trying to help with the baby, and then I'd squeeze in a workout. You know, and I was like, I wasn't being a bodybuilder. I was being all these things and then trying to bodybuild on the side. And that training with them, I was like, I miss the simplicity.
Did you consciously change that? Was that a bit of a wake-up call? Did you try and dial stuff back?
That was a wake-up call, but I was like 4 weeks out. That was like a week ago.
Fantastic.
I had been dialing it much better.
You are aware that how much
But-
you need to lock in, though.
Oh, I'm locked in right now, though.
Yeah?
I'm more locked in than Courtney, 9 centimeters dilated.
Fucking go.
10 centimeters dilated.
Chicks giving birth, man. The ultimate lock-in.
The ultimate lock-in.
Come on.
Give it a nice little squeeze there at the end. Lock it in.
What has developed the most from last year to this year from a physique perspective?
I'd say my back is better, partially due to the fact that I didn't tear my lat this year. That helped. But everything's just a little bit more like mature and dense, I think, this year.
Is there any
As
truth
time
to
goes
that
on.
muscle maturity thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. In how you train and in how long you train. I believe it.
And what's the difference in the look from you 5 years ago to you now around that, like beyond proportions in terms of muscle density, quality? What does that visually look like?
It's hard to explain. It's just like a little bit more of like a grainier, dense look. You know, sometimes there's like that young, soft, fluffy muscle, which like looks pretty, but then you see them on stage and it's just like a little flat. The cuts in the muscle aren't as deep, just like a little less 3D. And then it could be the same size muscle, but if the cut in my quad goes in deeper, the leg's gonna look bigger, even though it's the same size. It's just a little bit more like ingrained. It's hard to explain in words, but when you see them beside each other, it makes sense. You can like see a younger physique versus an older physique, or someone who like trains like really intense, like squeezing the piss out of heavy ass weight, versus someone who just like flops some weight around. I think you can see it on stage.
It's one of those weird sports where the longer that you've been doing it, the better it becomes.
Yeah,
You know, you don't see many people going, right, he's 30, he's really going to get good now as a quarterback or something, you know, or as
in
a
open bodybuilding, it's like peak at 34, 35. It's crazy.
wild.
It's like Iron Man.
Good. I got you. Yep.
One more.
Come on then. Good. Control this down. Good man. You don't know one more.
One more.
One more.
3 here.
What were you telling me about someone trying to get you to do an Ironman?
Oh, my partners here. They're all training for Ironman. And they want me to like jump in.
Dude, do you know how you know that a business is going well? That all of the C-suite executives start trying to do endurance racing?
That's the secret?
That's the rule.
That's the new thing?
I swear to God, bro. Like, business must be doing well. He's training for an ultra endurance race.
Ultra-endurance.
That's it, honestly.
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
You gotta be pretty locked in to do that.
you do. Well, you just need tons of spare time and 3 assistants, you know?
Yeah.
That's it.
It
That's
starts
it.
as I'm gonna condense my workouts into a 45-minute run in the morning so I have more energy all day.
That's correct.
So I'm actually gonna run, bike, and swim for 7
All at the
hours
same
every
time.
morning until 1 p.m.
Right.
and then eat all day, then be too tired to do anything else.
Correct. And my business is going to keep growing somehow. I
My
don't need to
business will get
see.
better.
I don't need to see your accounts filing. I just need to see the total mileage that your business partners are doing each year, and I can work out everything that's happening inside of your business.
What's your resting heart rate after running a marathon?
That's it. That's it. Don't talk to me about your EBITDA. Talk to me about your weekly mileage.
Squeeze. Come on. Another one. Come on.
When I sort of consider the prep that you're going through and my hopes for you, everything going well and all the rest of it, I just think, I hope that you're able to do the shit that you need to do.
It's a lesson for me continuously of me not feeling like I don't have to take on the load of everyone around me.
Yep.
Like I try and manage my family and people's stress a lot so that they don't have to have any more, especially Courtney right now, because she's like carrying the burden of the child so heavily that I don't want her to have to stress about anything other than that.
Yep.
So, but she's like, you don't have to manage me like that, I'm fine. And, you know, it's like, I know, but I still want to.
Yeah. Come on then. Let's go. Come on. Control. Control. Good man. Yeah. That was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning to, I don't know, be less of a people pleaser is proving difficult.
Yeah. An interesting balance too with like I get the whole people pleaser thing is negative connotation, but when it's towards my wife and my daughter, can I be
called
too
being
much of
caring.
a people pleaser? Really, you know?
Bro, I had a conversation with a friend a few months ago, and he heard me starting to chastise myself for being so concerned about whether or not I'd upset him. And I was saying, oh man, I was so worried that I'd this thing and that I'd brought it up to you and that I'd got, you thought that it was a bad thing. And he's like, hey, like, don't call yourself a people pleaser and make that out to be a bad thing, because the reason that you did that and reached out to me and checked in and made sure that I was okay is one of the reasons that I love you as a friend. It's literally one of the best things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So be careful thinking that that's a pathology.
Yeah.
And making it into a weakness when I see it as...
And trying not to do it.
Yeah. But then I
nice.
think it's whether or not it's coming from a place of compulsion or a place of choice. If you're not choosing to do it, it's not really that virtuous. The same as a rabbit isn't being good, it just doesn't have a choice to be evil.
Like, do you feel like you're a worthless piece of shit and your only benefit comes from people pleasing everyone, or do you truly care about the other person and you don't want them to be hurt? What's the intention?
The difficult thing is when you start to ask yourself that question. If you go, okay, which one is it? Like, why is
you have to think about it.
But it's very difficult.
Not that clear, yeah.
And then what you have to do is deconstruct doing it. So briefly you become a worse friend to then start to do it again consciously, but then you ask yourself, was I doing it consciously to start with? Have I gotten rid of the thing? It's so hard, man. So tough.
Human mind.
What you want?
We'll do just 2 sets, neutral grip, dumbbell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nice little stretch, nice little squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll do some lateral raises.
I love lateral raises.
I feel like there's a blessing in the fear of like, you're not losing your intelligence. It'll come back. But the blessing in that is like, well, what else do you have to offer that will always be there? Unless you have like absolute dementia and you're 80 years old and you don't know who you are, then you don't care anymore.
Yes, exactly.
But like, regardless of your ability to recall words and stuff, like I said yesterday, like your ability to like see people care about your friends and shit, doesn't go away.
But that's the fear, right? The fear is there is this one thing. I know that the world says that they like me because I'm honest and I'm truthful and I create this content, but really it's because of the body. It's because of the Olympia championships.
Yeah.
I'm sure that people say it's good that I'm curious and I care and I do all the rest of the stuff. But really it's because of coming up with interesting ideas or writing cool words or whatever. And it's fear. It's fear,
I think it's impossible too, and like when you get a certain level of fame and eyes on you and attention, to be like, well, I actually, to say I only value like my wife, my close relationship, my friends, the people who really know me. I don't even care about all. I could lose all that tomorrow. It's like, yes, you will be fine if you lose it all, but you will also feel like you're losing it all in the moment.
Pretty sad.
It is something you get used to.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sad.
There's a lot of a positive attention that
What weight you want?
you get used to.
Dig in. Yep. Come on. Oh yeah. But yeah, learning to advocate for your own needs and think that having demands and having needs is something that's even acceptable. It's kind of the vicious other side of being a self-sufficient person.
Like learning that your needs are not burdens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you're allowed to have them, that it's okay to have needs, as opposed to just going, I'll sort myself, no one needs to worry, I'll get this thing done, and are they okay? They better be okay, I hope that they're okay. Are you okay? And they go, yeah. Are you don't fit? No, don't worry about me, but you, please tell me about you.
Where do you think your like independence and responsibility for others, but not giving them responsibility for yourself, stems from? I feel like it's a common theme amongst
I
people.
never really got used to relying on anybody. Only child, solo business owner.
Do it all myself.
Yeah, like I'll just get it done.
Yeah.
It's the double-edged sword of being self-sufficient. That it means that you don't need anybody to do anything, but that you also can't get used to anybody doing anything for you.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. So learning to lean on people, like even needing a bottle of water. That time I managed to ask for it, but there was this one time on a podcast last year when we were in LA, and there was someone there who was only there to help out as kind of a runner, and I wanted a sandwich or anything to eat. I hadn't eaten. I'd done like 2 podcasts and I had 1 more to go.
Yeah.
I really wanted a sandwich, and I sat and thought inside of my head for probably about 7 minutes about building up the courage to ask somebody to go and get me a sandwich.
That was their job.
Yeah, their job was basically sandwich collector, and because I didn't want to make a fuss.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to be seen as. I really, really, really don't want to be seen as a diva. I have a inbuilt cringe of ever being seen as a diva.
Yeah.
And when you get to even any degree where that could be the sort of thing that might happen, you're not going to be a diva when you're first starting out, because who the fuck?
When you're in the position when it becomes acceptable to become a diva to some people, and they'll let you be a diva. That's like you have to actively try not
step
to
in to do it. Yeah, again, am I choosing to be helpful, or am I doing it because I'm compelled?
Yeah.
Just there, Chris. Neutral.
Yeah. Try to get it deep. Doesn't have to be perfect. Keep your head back.
What?
Push through like the palm of your hand a bit more, like a dip, like this part here.
Yeah.
Like try and like squeeze through that,
Right.
like a decline almost.
Yeah, I get you.
Pec minor.
Yeah.
It's funny. One of the things I've like realized that I love so much about competing is the permission I give myself to be a bit of a diva for the last 4 weeks. Like Courtney's like such a caregiver. She's always like, "I'll make this for you. I'll do this for you." I'm like, "It's fine. I'll cook it myself. I'll do that." She does it for me very often.
This time you're actually
But when I'm in prep, I'm like, "Thank you," and she's like, she appreciates sometimes more me just saying thank you instead of "It's okay. I can cook myself."
But
she's
dude,
like, "I like being needed."
So that's the double-edged sword. That if you step in and do everything, you don't ever give anybody else the opportunity to serve you.
Yeah.
It's not them doing it out of guilt or obligation or even necessity. It's out of will.
Yeah.
And it allows somebody else to feel good
Literally.
for doing a thing for you. There's
Yeah.
this really interesting quirk in human psychology where if you do somebody a favor, they end up disliking you more, because the implicit deal of you doing someone a favor is, in future, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. As opposed to people like people who ask for favors more than people who do favors for them,
Yeah.
at least to begin the relationship. Because implicit in, hey man, I really need an intro to whatever this guy, or I need someone to take me to the airport, would that be okay? Because you know down the
Need
line
you for something. Yeah.
that there's a reciprocal deal.
You're starting from the front end.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So what you're saying, by setting the price up top and saying this is exactly what I want from you, you're opening the door
That's
to.
a fucked up way of thinking, though.
We don't control the subconscious, man.
I know, I totally get it, but like most people don't think like that.
Not consciously.
Not
But I
conscious.
think a lot of people, I think almost everybody thinks like that subconsciously.
Yeah, but I mean, in the act of doing something for others,
Yes.
I don't think, well, then I'm going to be able to ask for something in the future. But I understand why the other person would think that inversely.
But it is
Like when you were texting me this morning,
yeah.
and I was
God, I
texting the
felt
guys
so.
from Revive,
Dude,
I was literally like, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to help you, and I need nothing back.
but I felt guilty
I can
for
tell
you.
you felt like
I was
that.
like, shut up. Stop sending me. Stop researching if they've got phosphatidylcholine at different locations. I just want to, like, get out of your hair.
I only had to ask 2 people.
Yeah, well, still. So that compulsion, that sense, that
Yeah.
is exactly what I need to get over. That don't be a burden, don't ask for things, don't let people do stuff for you. If they do stuff for you, like, kill yourself with guilt and shame over someone having done it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be overly fatigued during this workout and be like, Chris, I had to fucking text that guy. For you this
Honestly,
morning.
that's it. My thumbs. I failed that rep because I feel like I sent 3 more
ruined my
texts
entire workout.
than I needed to this morning. Yep. Good man. Come on. What part of the limb did that sound emanate from?
That crack? I think it was my spine, honestly. I think it's a little. Get some crazy cracks coming right around now.
Yep. The universal sign for should we now begin doing lateral raises?
One eyebrow and a little. This one's nice because you can use the little grip.
Wow, very cool. As if you were training to be that chick on the Titanic. All right, who's this? What's your typical day look like at the moment? Prep day.
They've been so different. I've had people visiting in and out and random shit.
Sounds
But-
highly uncontrolled.
It has been quite uncontrolled. But what it's optimally going to become is wake up, cardio, stretch, breakfast,
What time's wake up?
7:30. Cardio, stretch, breakfast. Lie down, hopefully nap, if I can.
Cardio, stretch, breakfast, back to bed.
Back to bed.
Yep.
Today I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Yep.
I found the couch and was just out. Eat again, double shot of espresso coffee, try and wake myself up, do some random shit, hang out with the baby, be at home. Eat again, train, come
2
home,
p.m.
eat, cardio, eat, chill, eat, sleep.
A lot of eating, given that you've only got 2,000 calories to play with.
6 meals.
Wow.
Yeah. 360 grams of protein. So like, you know, me eating 225 grams of fish 6 times a day almost.
Fuck. What's the reason behind the fish? Just more easily digestible, leaner?
The leanest cut of protein you can really get.
And what type of fish?
I get wild caught cod.
Okay.
Anything. I try not to get anything farmed. You get fresh Atlantic cod, it's pretty good.
Nice. With what? Dumbbells?
Yeah.
Standing?
Standing.
For how many reps?
I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Olympia. Thank you for being so precise.
8 to 10.
5-time Mr. Olympia champion.
Do something that hurts.
8 to 10, okay. You know when you were dealing with your autoimmune,
Yeah.
did you ever get tinnitus?
My ears? Is that your ears? Tinnitus?
Yeah. Tinnitus. I called it tinnitus. Call it what you want.
I
Okay.
didn't. Do you?
Mine's fucking ruthless.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a ringing in your ears? Or?
Yeah.
I have inner ear problems where like my equilibrium's
Balance
fucked up,
goes. Yeah, I've had that as
but
well.
not that.
Dude, it's wild. Have you still got your truck?
The old one?
Big one. The Raptor.
The
thing.
Raptor? Yeah.
You still got that?
Yeah. Cool. I do. Still like it.
Ow. Ow. I remember I always used to watch those videos of whatever Branch Warren or whoever training and see what they did and always think, yeah, that's what they say they do. But what they really do, it's like super secret squirrel
You thought
exercise.
they weren't really doing that?
Well, I just thought that was what was for public consumption.
To make them look hardcore?
No, just to keep the
keep the
super
secret.
secrets secret. And trained with you 3 times now, and I've come to realize that it's just the same as what everybody else does.
Yeah.
Just a bit more consistent.
I wish there were secrets. Maybe there are secrets.
You do not need to see my secrets. You do not need to see my secrets. Yeah. You don't need to do that. My mold does that for me.
That's true. I just sprinkle some mold in your water and
Honestly,
you don't remember being
that
here.
might have been the whole thing. The whole thing might have been you infecting me
It might have been the first time you came down here.
with mold exposure so that I don't recall your super secret squirrel technique. My favorite grunt is sitting down on the couch after a pretty long day. That's my favorite grunt of them all. Yeah, it's
it like a-
deeper than that. And it's as you go hands on hips too. If you get yourself into like a... It's that, it sort of builds up, it sort of crescendos and then it tails off.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a nice clap of thunder. That's it. That's how I think
I'm
about
an
it.
audio recording of this.
That's true. I might start to build a sort of library
A database?
of my different
Yeah.
grunts. Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Are we this?
Yeah.
Right. What does cardio look like?
45 minutes fasted in the morning, 25, 30 minutes at night, except on leg day.
What?
Just walking on a treadmill, incline treadmill.
And are you doing steps throughout the day too? Are you tracking those also? Because that would...
No.
Okay. But
I
surely
get,
there's some
like-
days where you walk more and some days where you walk less. And
Yeah, just a bonus. If I lose an extra 0.2 pounds or something in the bonus, you know, it doesn't
what would
matter.
happen, let's say that in 2 weeks' time, you're looking at the scale and you think, fuck, like I'm a little heavy still.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
It depends what I've been doing in the previous part of my program. So right now, I haven't added much cardio in a while, so I'd probably add a little bit more cardio and take away some food.
Okay.
Like I have 4 meals a day right now with carbs, 2 without. I'd probably just go
Change
down to
that.
3. Add another 20 minutes of cardio at night, 2 45-minute sessions. But you just pull away.
How do you think you're going to come in? Do you think it's going to be exactly sort of on track? Is everything moving in the right direction?
Right now it is, yeah. It was like
Almost like you know
slow
what you're
and
doing.
then
It's
plowing
kind
it
of like you
down,
know what you're doing. It's
and
very
then we were like,
impressive.
let's stop it. And now it's coming. Every year's different though. You never really know what you're doing. You have to trust that you don't know what you're doing, but you'll figure it out along the way.
Uh-huh.
You tell yourself you know what you're doing, you're just lying. You don't know what the fuck's going on. But you do know what to do when the opportunity arises, because you have experience.
Uh-huh. How much do you think your beard weighs? Altogether? What's it, like 10 grams at least?
I'll tell you, I'll weigh myself before and after
I want to know how much... I want to know the total amount of mass of body hair.
I don't have much body hair left on me. This is
The-
90% of it right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, actually, think about how much heavier you are because of the...
The hair.
Yeah.
This is one of the few shoes that don't hurt my toes to wear.
Because of all of your time wearing high heels.
Yeah. No, it's actually because I'm 60, 70 pounds overweight. So my arch just crushed and my foot just got wider.
I crushed my own foot.
Yeah, it just got wider. I went from like a normal size 11 and a half, 12 to a size 13 and a half flat
Absolute
foot.
elephant foot.
Yeah. Literally. In my mid-20s, I grew a full size and a half.
Well, that's one thing that I'm proud of this year, that in amongst all the business stuff, all the health stuff, it's been the most consistent training I've probably had in a decade. So I just held on to doing that.
What do you train now? Dare I say hybrid, or are you like...
No, no. I don't, like, it's nice for the people that want to be Nick Bear or whatever, but
Yeah. But you still, I've seen you run. You can run.
bro, I did 2 5Ks this year. That's the extent of my running.
That's far.
And then last year I did one trail run with Cam Haines. That's it. So the only times that I ever run apparently get captured on the internet, which makes it look like I can run.
That's true.
But
At
my
least it
total
looks like you
mileage,
can when you're
all
being
of it has
captured.
been captured and then placed online. Chris runs all the time. It's like, no, he doesn't.
It's
So it's
impressive
just,
that you can run.
it's push-pull legs,
Push-pull legs.
basically, with an additional session each week of something. And I've started doing a little, like one session of VO2 max stuff. I had this one conversation with Rhonda Patrick, and she taught me about this Norwegian 4x4 VO2 max workout that helps with heart health. And I just thought, oh, okay, I don't want to die of heart disease. I'd better do it. So I started doing it, and it works. It seems pretty good.
I'd like to get into Olympic lifting when I'm older,
What?
like power cleans.
I know what it is. Why?
I like explosive shit.
Right. Can you show me your overhead position? Squat down for me. Might be a
not
little.
bad.
That's not bad at all. It's better than mine. There might be a little bit of work to be done, I think.
Well, I don't want to do a, what is that, a
Snatch.
snatch? I just want to be able to fucking take like 400 pounds and be like,
Right.
yeah.
The Olympic lifters out there will have a problem. I think that's strongman, technically. Because that's the Olympic lifting's the like, up, right?
Yeah. I guess like an NFL power clean then.
It'll be interesting to know what you do training-wise when all of this comes into land. It's so funny, right? That training's been such a huge part of your life for so long, and then
It's really weird when you think about like being 15-year-old kid going to the gym in the summer, thinking of like where it would bring my life now, you know? Everything. How I met Courtney, the businesses, where I live, everything.
for a sense
From-
of belonging.
Working out, millions of
Best
people on the
friends.
internet, best friends, everyone I've met, everyone in my life right now. Crazy.
It's cool. I think that's why people like to see it. It's one of the things that I'm most regretful of with regards to what we've done. I regret basically nothing, but that I didn't track the journey more.
You didn't
And
track the gym?
Track the journey more.
Oh, the
I wish
journey.
that we'd logged and archived it, and you know,
it
for
would be
better
pretty
or
cool.
worse,
Yeah.
you guys archived everything. Absolutely everything.
There's a lot we didn't do, but we have a fucking lot. Yeah, because what was it? When we did our podcast, was that 2 years ago or
Well, like June of last year, so a year and a half.
a year and a half? Because that was right when you started doing the big productions.
Correct. You were one of the first few. Yep.
So before, like, just having like your first few to like the fancier ones, so using a real camera to like that production.
Your one is still, I think, widely regarded as one of the most beautiful that we did. In here, right
was
here.
right-
It was right here. There.
In the middle, where those stairs are. You wanna grab a shake?
Yes. Would you like me to pick this up off the ground for you, sir?
I got it.
You sure?
I oddly enough have the most energy the 20 minutes after I work out.
Okay, that's cool. Are you looking forward to, I guess you haven't had any period of being a dad yet where you haven't had this sort of looming Olympia thing in the background? Are you looking forward to actually being able to have fully committed, undistracted dad mode?
Yeah. I at the beginning I was like that, but the first 3 months are just chaos, you know? Trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and she's trying to figure out how to be a human and everything, so chaos. But I'm happy that while I'm a lazy piece of shit, she can't crawl or move or do anything, so you put her down and she's stuck there.
Because she's a blob.
She's just stuck. But then when
Right.
she's able to crawl and run and eat real food and, you know, all this stuff, then I can do that too. I'm weirdly excited to like, for her to be like, I want pancakes. And me be like, me too, chocolate chips. And us just eat children's food together, you know? Like chicken nuggets and sandwiches with no crust. Like,
Yes.
that just excites me.
Meanwhile, Courtney's forgotten the fact that it was a traumatic experience. I still can't believe that that's a thing. That,
Pretty fucking cool though. Nature is wild.
that you're given, I don't know, amnesia hormones. Women get amnesia hormones to make the pain of childbirth retrospectively seem like it was less bad. wild. You're just left with the trauma.
I kind of have that in the aspect of Olympia preps. When they're like a really shitty, stressful prep where I'm like overwhelmed and stressed and like feeling like shit, after 4 or 5 months, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. I could do that again.
Yeah. I enjoyed the opportunity yesterday to be a bit more like open and sanguine and self-deprecating about, or like just transparent. I think one of the things that the times that I've spent with you give me the excuse to do, or like the allowance to do, is to be more open and vulnerable, which I think is a pretty cool thing. It's probably one of the reasons that lots of people watch your channel.
Mm-hmm.
But
is it challenging for you being around like a lot of the stuff you do is like around highly intelligent, just like people trying to think of big ideas, and to just not have to do that? Like, is it challenging to have to be on that all the time?
Such an idiot.
No, is it challenging to have to be on, and therefore it's nice to not have to like do that just to let the guard down?
I know you might feel the same, but maybe not, because you seem to have alchemized a lot of this stuff. But there's this sort of sense that you're supposed to be in charge or in control or know what you're doing or have it all together. Mm-hmm. Because how are you supposed to lead this thing or build this thing if you don't?
Yeah.
But you know, it's strange. I started the show because I wanted to learn about myself and understand myself better. And then over time it becomes this big beast. And that's still the core of it, and that still is. Every conversation is still really about that. But then it also kind of takes on a life of its own as well. And then there's expectation, and there's sponsors, and there's plays, and there's news articles, and you trended on Twitter because of this thing that some guest said and you were attached to it. And did you see that like Elon Musk replied? And I'm like, what? I was just trying to work out how come I sometimes got sad a lot. You know, there's that story of Mark Zuckerberg, and it's a photo of him in front of Congress looking really scared. And they're sort of shouting at him about the fact that he's suppressed information or whatever. And you're just looking at some bloke that 10 years ago wanted to find a way for people to easily date each other on the internet at university. And a decade later, he's stood in front of Congress and they're shouting at him.
Changing the political span of our country.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sense of going like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Kind of. And trying to keep grounded in contact with that. I find my time with Max is really good for that too. Like, I've really enjoyed the time that I spend on the vlog, because I have no preconceptions about how I'm supposed to behave. And I guess at least what I see with you and Calvin is something that's not too dissimilar, where it seems pretty frictionless, transparent. You can kind of just say.
Yeah. The concept of a podcast is like high stress. It's like, it is. A vlog is meant to be just like, oh, bullshitting, but like you listen to a podcast and it's like an audiobook, but live. That it's like
with no redos.
It's like how difficult people say a stand-up comedy is, but with no practice and no shows where you go to a shitty club where no one knows who you are and practice. It's just like
all recorded.
You just go.
That's one of the funny things I realized, is that there's very few pursuits you do where your practice is also your performance.
Yeah.
I mean, comedy is one of those things, but the practice is done to such a small audience that it kind of doesn't matter. But we didn't get to go 2 days ago, me come round to your house and say, okay, so then we're going to talk about this. And when I say that, you're going to say that. And I don't like the way that you said this. All right, good. Locked in? Let's go. Ready for tomorrow. You're just doing it live, owning your errors. And
is there anyone you work with where you tell them everything you're going to talk, a lot of the stuff you're going to talk about before? Or do you always just dive in?
Never. It's just me. So
you find when you started the podcast to learn more about yourself, do you think there's like a cap where you almost start learning less about yourself because you're searching for it externally, as in like
a good question.
Internally?
It's a good question. There's certainly a lot of the big lessons that you need to know you end up picking up at the very start.
Mm-hmm.
The things that are the best bits of advice are usually the most widely distributed because they're the lowest hanging fruit, because they're the most effective.
Yeah.
And then the longer that you spend doing personal development, the more that you think, oh, it's this new thing. It's no. One of the biggest facepalm moments is realizing that the answer to a problem that you're facing is something that you already learned and maybe made 10 videos about 3 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You go, oh, not only do I already have the answer to this, but I've already done it and been through it. And I just need to stop looking out there and sort of look back. So there's, at least in personal development, I think you go through sort of these cycles. Like the hero's journey of personal development or whatever. But it's the same with, I said it today about, I always assumed that bodybuilders doing training vlogs, they weren't giving away the real secrets. There's the super secret squirrel technique that they've got is actually something that they keep off camera.
Yeah.
It's just eat protein, lift weights.
Just do it every day. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to say thank you for giving me the opportunity, even on my own show in my own house, to be able to open up a bit yesterday, and I appreciate the text that you sent me as well. It's nice.
Of course. No, I enjoy spending time with you.
Good.
Even off camera. That's why it's hard. I struggle sometimes is like when I meet someone who I actually like and I like spending time with and we're friends, but we both do this, it's like I don't want you to think it's always needs to be on camera.
Transaction.
Because it's so part of our life. A lot of times where you just want to chill without it,
Yeah, let's make a pact to not film the next time that we hang.
At least the majority of the time.
Okay.
I think I might have to come to Austin in the next 6 to 8 months,
So much to do.
hopefully you'll be there.
All right. Well, that might be what happens next. See ya.